Well, happening now, you probably know this. It is the first day of Lent, also known as Ash Wednesday.
Yes, many of you will have your foreheads marked with a cross using ash, symbolizing penance and the following of Jesus Christ. Lent is a season of prayer and penance leading up to Easter. It lasts 40 days, excluding Sundays. Many people give up something during Lent, such as food, television, or other activities. Taking up acts of charity is also very customary. Well, we are following some developing news out of Carlsbad. Unfortunately, police have discovered the body of a missing teacher.
Emily Lambert here vanished Saturday night in Carlsbad. Yesterday, unfortunately, her body was found in a deserted area outside of town. Ms. Lambert was 30 years old. She had 2 young daughters and taught 3rd grade in Garland, Texas, a suburb of Dallas. She was visiting her new boyfriend in Carlsbad this weekend and was supposed to be back home on Sunday and back at work Monday. Her boyfriend called Emily's parents Sunday morning to say they were at a bar together late Saturday night and that they got into some kind of an argument. He says she walked out and he hasn't seen her since.
She's been dating him for a couple or 3 or 4 months. I mean, we know him, we've met him and had dinner with him, but so we don't know. We don't really have any reason to believe that he's being untruthful.
Lambert and her boyfriend were here at the Blue Cactus Lounge. It's at the Best Western in Carlsbad. Police have not said how Emily Lambert died or what led them to her body. They say they do have a person of interest in the case, but they will not say who that is. 5:34 now. You know, it's usually the students who get in trouble for falling asleep in class, but a group of high schoolers say their teacher was the one who dozed off, and they even snapped a picture of it. Students say, take a look. This is Los Lunas High teacher John Gabaldon nodding off instead of teaching algebra last Friday. Students who say they're in his class wanted to stay anonymous, but told us what they say happened.
Kids went on to playing on the computers, kids stayed at their desks, talking on their phones, and eventually he just fell asleep.
The whole class was just sitting there playing on their phones while he was just like out of it.
Truthful. The Los Lunas school superintendent says the teacher was not feeling well and admitted to closing his eyes, but insists he wasn't asleep for any length of time. The superintendent tells us a handful of students did go to the principal last week complaining about Mr. Gabaldon's teaching performance. Mr. Gabaldon didn't want to talk about what happened. Before you send your kids off to school this morning, particularly in Albuquerque, please pay attention to this.
A man who has been going around asking to film kids while spraying them with a squirt gun is still out there, and now it has school leaders very concerned. APS is now getting involved. The district is warning parents about this bizarre act. It sent a letter home to parents in the Sandia and El Dorado high school areas. We're talking schools that aren't very far from Eubank. Albuquerque police say the man in his 20s has been approaching kids, mostly girls 6 to 16 years old.
It's definitely always a concern. Whatever awkward things that happen around schools, you wonder the motives of the person and what they have in mind.
Police are testing the liquid he sprayed on 2 of the victims to make sure it was, in fact, only water.
5:35, a civil rights group is threatening to go after the people who train officers in the use of deadly force.
The ACLU says the board responsible for that training won't release the information. ACLU claims it should be public. Well, now the group is threatening to take them to court. According to the Santa Fe newspaper, the director of the New Mexico Law Enforcement Academy said he would, quote, burn some of the materials before handing them over to the public.
At the heart of this, really what we're talking about is the public's right to know.
Peter Simonson, the state's ACLU guy, has filed a public records request to learn more about how officers are trained. His concerns stem from a Santa Fe, New Mexican article last month detailing new training procedures at the Law Enforcement Academy. The paper says LEA Director Jack Jones now has full control over training and is teaching cadets they have more leeway to use force. Now, when asked if he would turn over his training materials, Jones apparently said he fears criminals would get their hands on the information. Under state law, the Academy has 15 business days to make the requested materials public.
Well, the Albuquerque chapter of the NAACP plans to picket the office of the Bernalillo County District Attorney. They say Kerry Brandenburg failed to bring charges against a man who shot and killed his neighbor. Back in March of 2013, Donnie Pearson took off in his SUV after hearing about a man in a neighborhood with a gun. Police helicopter video shows Iraq War veteran Jonathan Mitchell, who'd returned to his own house, fired off a shot from his garage as Pearson pulled up. A few seconds later, Pearson fired back, killing Mitchell. Now, Pearson claims self-defense for the killing. Brandenburg told the Albuquerque Journal that her office is waiting on the FBI and the New Mexico State Police to review the case before it moves forward. Well, Facebook wants to provide internet to the whole world, and rumor has it that it's considering using a company from New Mexico to do that. Facebook is reportedly looking into spending $60 million to buy Titan Aerospace based out in Moriarty. We have learned that a deal is possibly in the works here. Reports show Facebook wants to use Titan's drones like a satellite to beam down wireless signals to connect people to the internet.